Anime. What is it? You would think as someone who watches and reviews anime, I know what it is, but I don't. I can't even tell you what is and isn't an anime. I mean, there was a time when Cory in the House was considered an anime, and not just an anime. It was the best anime. The meaning of anime stays the same, but more shows are getting an exception. Hey there, how's it going? I'm Haunted Toast, and today, we're looking at what really is anime. The idea came to me when I was watching the documentary Enter the Anime by Netflix. Spoiler alert, it sucked. It felt like one big commercial for all the animes that Netflix helped produce, rather than a deep dive into anime. Although I didn't like the documentary, it did ask one good question: what is anime? And when I actually gave it some thought, I didn't really have an answer. So let's begin with the definition of anime. If we use a Japanese definition of anime, then it's anime. A term derived from the English word animation. Describes all animated works, regardless of style or origin. And that's it. Basically, it's short for animation. And the video's over. Pull out the bread packs, play out the music, fade me to blue, and we're done. But we're not using that definition. We're using a definition created by the fandom, the weebs and otakus of the community. The fandom's definition is animation created in Japan. So shows like Simpsons and Gravity Falls would not be considered anime. But Naruto and Demon Slayer are. Perfect. Another solid definition. And with that, the anime community has lived happily for a long time. But then, everything changed when The Last Airbender aired. Avatar: The Last Airbender is a show that aired on Nickelodeon. It was created by Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. It was created in Nickelodeon Studios in Burbank, which is in Los Angeles, which is in California, which is in the US, which is not Japan. Because this show was inspired by the anime style and uses Asian culture in its show, a lot of people say that Avatar: The Last Airbender is an anime. At the same time, this show was created in the US, so a lot of people say that Avatar: The Last Airbender is not an anime. This has led to many heated debates. If Avatar is an anime, then it shows that anime isn't about the origin of the show, but the art style. You know, with the big eyes, small mouth, and small nose. If it follows the anime art style, then it's an anime. But if that's the case, what about Japanese shows that are inspired by American shows? Or even Japanese shows that don't follow the anime art style? Are these not considered anime? I mean, Astro Boy, one of the shows that pioneered anime to what it is today, was inspired by Disney characters. If Avatar isn't an anime, then it shows that anime must be from Japan. And that's it. No other requirements. There's no specific art style to it. As long as it's made in Japan, it's an anime. That one scene in Pop Team Epic where the French animator created a little animation for the show entirely in French? Anime. Like I said before, the term anime is a lot harder to define than we think it is. And as it gets more popular, it gets a lot harder to define. Big animation studios are teaming up with Japanese anime studios to create anime. These studios inadvertently redefined the word anime and turned it into a keyword to market their shows. It's a blend of well-known IPs combined with the anime art style. And because the studios doing the animation are Japanese anime studios, it technically is an anime. The art is done in Japan, just the writing and almost everything else is done somewhere else. Going back to the documentary Enter the Anime, they mentioned the show Castlevania, saying that it's an anime.
What the what? How?
The studio that made the show Castlevania is in Los Angeles, and the writer is someone who isn't from Japan, but someone who claims to be from the future.
Because I'm a time traveler. I'm from the future, I'm not from this timeline.
The only thing anime about it is the game that's based off of, and the art style. This is where the line begins to blur. To some, it's not an anime. You can't even find the show on my anime list. But according to the Netflix documentary, it is an anime. The studio and Netflix called it an anime, so I guess it is. In my personal opinion, anime isn't just the art style, but the storytelling as well. If we consider anime as Japanese animation, then the storytelling would play a big part. If we look at what's been popular in the US and Japan, they're different. These differences are created from the writers writing what they know and trying to reach their target audience. From these differences, each country has a different style of storytelling. In anime, a lot of stories are influenced by Japanese culture, folktales, and history, and the themes that are explored are usually targeted towards a Japanese audience. The response from the audience is what molds and shapes the anime industry. When Pokemon started getting popular, bam! A lot of anime is just like Pokemon. When people started liking isekais, bam! Everything's an isekai now. This shows that anime is mostly catered and written for a Japanese audience. So they write a story with themes that are relatable in Japan. An anime like Naruto can only be made in Japan. Sure, someone else in the world could make it, but it would be slightly different. And a lot of cultural inspirations would be lost. Don't believe me? Then just compare any of these animes to their Hollywood adaptations. The themes and stories are the same, but different topics are highlighted and certain characters are changed to fit a different audience. Storytelling and writing plays a big part in defining anime. If we just say that anime is just an art style, we lose that storytelling aspect. Writers can research Japanese culture and make an animation that could be considered anime. Would it be the same as Naoko Takeuchi, who created Sailor Moon and based it on her time growing up in a Japanese middle school? It's different because one is someone trying to write the experience of someone else through their research, while the other is writing their own personal experiences and what they know. Saying that, I like to say that both writing styles are fine, if done well. Looking at you, Dragon Ball Evolution, it's been over 10 years, and you think I'm over spending $20 to watch a de-evolved piece of shit? Cause I'm not. So, what is anime? I don't know. That can change depending on who you ask. It could just be short for the word animation, or animation made in Japan, or a keyword to get people to watch a certain show. It's just a word created from a fandom. But now as anime becomes more popular, who gets to decide what is anime? Is it the fans who consume and appreciate the medium? The creators who make the anime? Can't they say what their own creations are? Or the studios who help market and sell the creations? Please let me know what you think, whether it's just like, animation, Japanese animation, or that I'm spending way too much time on this topic. Personally, if it was up to me, I would say the fandom gets to decide what is and isn't anime. But this fandom kind of sucks at, making decisions. You go into the community and there's always debates about subs versus dubs, or shipping wars, or we can't even decide who the best girl is in Neon Genesis Evangelion. And that show is over 20 years old. And easy.